The autumn wind whipped through Silver Creek like a forgotten regret, and Emily Harper stood on that dusty train platform with nothing but a worn suitcase and a secret she'd buried deep. She'd mailed Victor Langston a photograph, but it wasn't hers, it was her late cousin's, slim and youthful like a prairie flower. At 34, Emily's figure filled her simple dress in ways that turned heads and sparked whispers. She knew the risk when she posted that letter from Boston, but a widow with no prospects grabs at shadows. Victor spotted her right away as she stepped down, his lawyer's gaze sharp as a blade appraising livestock. "You're not the woman in the picture," he said, his words slicing the crisp air. Every soul on that platform paused, eyes hungry for drama. Emily felt their stares like brands on her skin. What happens when a desperate gamble falls apart? What does a woman owe for one white lie? This was deceit, plain and ugly, Victor declared in the town square, his voice booming like a courtroom verdict. Mail-order brides were meant to be honest about their qualities. Emily's face flushed, but she held her ground. She survived tougher storms than a smug attorney's scorn. The agreement promised a bride of sound morals, not a specific shape. Morals? Victor's laugh cut deep. A liar about fundamentals lacks decency altogether. That's what she noticed in the mechanic in the shadows, his steady eyes absorbing the scene. Jack Thornton was 6 feet of rugged resilience, his right arm scarred from shrapnel, his face etched with quiet resolve. Most men would avert their gaze from such public shame. This one strode forward. "Trouble here, Langston." Jack's tone was even, but it carried weight. Victor adjusted his tie. "Private business, Thornton. The lady and I are settling a voided deal." Jack glanced at Emily. "Seems the lady could use better than a public flogging." Something flickered in Emily's chest, not pity, but a spark of kinship. This man's presence felt solid, like an anchor in a squall. When he offered his elbow, she took it without a second thought. His grip sent a warmth through her sleeve. She'd long forgotten a man's support freely given, not seized. Outside, leaves swirled like accusations. Emily clutched her coat. "I guess I'll need lodging while I book a ticket back east." "Boston?" Jack's breath fogged the air. "Hate to see you come all this way just to bolt." "No choice. Victor's made it clear I'm not fit." Jack's eyes narrowed. Victor Langston wouldn't spot fit if it kicked his polished boots. Despite the mess, Emily cracked a smile when "Had a stranger last" lifted her spirits. "There's a librarian spot open at the school," Jack added. "Kids from the logging camps need basics. Pays decent, and Mrs. Whitaker runs a clean boarding house." Emily searched his face. "Why help a total stranger?" "Maybe because I get what it's like to rebuild," he said, his scarred arm flexing subtly. War carves lessons into a man about fresh starts. The way he spoke, low and measured, hinted at buried pain, raw, but real. She'd endured enough polished deceptions. "I'd have to earn it." You stare down Langston in front of half the town. That's good enough. Wind gusted, and Emily shivered. Without a word, Jack shifted to shield her. She caught his scent, oil and pine, honest labor, and something fiercely male. Her late husband had reeked of cheap cigars, and indifference. This was worlds apart. "Let me walk you to the library," Jack offered, his voice gravelly. Emily nodded, words failing as they strolled the leaf-strewn streets. He matched her pace, always positioning between her and the chill tiny acts that loomed large after years of being overlooked. The library was cozy, with oak shelves and a wood stove Jack stoked to life. Kids show when families can spare 'em. Logging's brutal, but folks want more for their little ones. Emily traced a dusty volume. She'd volunteered at a reading circle back east before Thomas deemed it unseemly for his wife, before she'd shrunk herself to fit his mold. Last librarian, what a foreman out west, left quick. Firelight danced on Jack's features as they stood in silence, wind rattling panes. "Why, really?" Emily asked softly. His gaze met hers. "I know judgment for scars all too well." The truth tightened her throat when, had anyone seen her without dismissal? 3 weeks in, Emily learned hope could bite back. Mornings teaching loggers kids, afternoons prepping lessons, evenings at Mrs. Whitaker's, avoiding thoughts of the mechanic who'd handed her this lifeline. But Jack Thornton appeared like clockwork. Afternoon, Mrs. Harper. He stood in the doorway, leaves in his hair, toting firewood. Stove's low gets nippy after sunset. As he fed the flames, his nearness quickened her pulse. Thoughtful, practical, but his eyes lingered, and the air thickened. They danced this careful waltz. Him fixing shelves, her needing help, always chaperoned. Tension simmered like a pot about to boil. "Jack," she said one day, his name tasting bold. "You don't have to." He rose, eyes intense. "I want to." The admission stole her breath when, had care been voluntary? That night, bad tidings knocked. Victor at Mrs. Whitaker's, hat in hand, feigning remorse. "Emily, I was rash." Tea steamed as he pitched. Town needed a first lady for his council, ruin a woman of substance. "You've shown spine here. Let's begin anew." Emily's cup cooled. Anew? Proper date sigh, aired in judging surfaces. But his gaze inventoried her like merchandise, calculation over warmth. Nothing like the fire she'd sensed in Jack's stare. "Time to think." Victor grinned, smug. "Don't dally, a lady needs stability out here." Mrs. Whitaker huffed post-departure. "Stability's fine, being auctioned ain't." Emily paced the library that night, needing clarity from Victor's push and Mrs. Whitaker's winks. Jack was there, tweaking the stove. Sleepless too. Victor's courting. Jack froze. Heard he's offering properly. "What do you want, Emily?" The way he said her name, like it held value, choked her. To feel alive. Words escaped raw. Jack stood, eyes locked. "Emily." She closed the gap, kissing him. His lips were urgent, a starved man's banquet, nothing like Thomas's dutiful brushes. Jack kissed with fire, his good hand in her hair, scarred one on her back. She melted into him, savoring his sounds of need. Breathless, they parted, desire raw in his eyes, for all of her. Madness. Best sort. Footsteps neared. They sprang apart. Victor's voice. "Emily?" Lights on. Jack shadowed, as Emily composed at her desk. Victor entered, scanning suspiciously. "Late work, kids. Need these tomorrow." He neared, bayrum cloying, unlike Jack's earthiness. "Unsafe alone at night." "I'm fine." His hand on her shoulder claimed ownership. "A woman like you needs guarding, especially from types like Thornton sniffing round." The slur crawled her skin, but she stayed calm. "Jack's been respectful." "Doubt it." From shadows, Jack's fury pulsed like heat. Morning brought scandal. Someone spied Jack leaving. By noon, whispers hounded Emily like wolves shameless. Poor Victor. What else from an Easterner? She'd chin up to the general store, barbs stinging. She'd built respect. Now it shattered over one kiss. At the store, Jack loaded crates. Their eyes met, sparks flying despite the watchers. "Mrs. Harper." Formal, but his jaw ticked. Outside, he touched her arm. "Emily, last night." "A mistake." It burned. His gaze darkened. "Don't let them shame what we felt. It ruins everything." "What?" Tiptoeing, settling for Langston's crumbs. Truth lashed. "At least security. A prison." He leaned close. "Caged things forget freedom." Afternoon, Victor arrived with orchids and an edict masked as a proposal. "Talk's unfortunate, but wedding me ends it." Emily eyed the flawless, bloom scentless, like him. "Kind, but practical. Your name's tarnished. I fix it." In return, his smile was wolfish. What husbands claim: obedience, discretion, marital duties. Words chilled her. Time. No luxury. Behind her, his hands gripped. "Board meets, soon without me, you're out." Door banged. Jack stormed in, eyes lethal on Victor's hold. "Hands off." Victor eased but sneered. "Private Thornton." "Not now." Emily, between Victor's ice and Jack's blaze, one safe chains, the other consuming passion. "No," she said firm. "Not what I want." Victor's rage flared. "Mistake, you'll rue it." "Good." Victor stormed out, eyes venomous. Emily sagged. Ruined my life. Jack knelt, hand on hers. Saved it. Ow. I know soul death. Lived it. She laced fingers as rough, marked real. Now, choose. Fight for us or flee to fear. What us? He pulled her up. Distance vanished. His kiss claimed. Hands worshipping curves Victor scorned. Under Jack, she felt empowered, desired. Beautiful, he growled at her neck. She arched, craving the unknown. Voices neared. They broke, disheveled. Doing, living. Silver Creek buzzed with judgment. Victor schemed revenge. But in that library, two broken hearts ignited something fierce. Victor Langston hated losing. Within days, Emily's world frayed. Board probed her morals. Mrs. Whitaker got complaints on loose borders. Store owner hinted elsewhere. Message: bend or break. Emily clutched Victor's ultimatum in the empty library, wed by month-end or exile. She'd seen this in Boston. Slow erosion of defiance. Jack found her as rain pelted. Bad. Worst cut survival. He read, jaw clenching. Scum. No right trapping you. Suggestions? Can't live on pride. Silence stretched. Marry me. Word stunned. Not pity. He faced her, fierce. For real, for making me alive post-war. She rose, trembling. Barely know me. Know you're bold, trekking west on hope. Unflinching with bullies. Taste like rescue, feel like home. Thumbs wipe tears. Been half since battles. You complete me. Vision blurred. Not the photo woman, am not slim, young. You're the one racing my heart. Laugh, reviving ghosts. Dream of you nightly. Honesty cracked her open. If wrong, wrong together. The door crashed. Victor entered, fury blazing. Touching but futile. Jack shielded. Out, Langston. Evicted, Thornton firm calls your loan now. Emily iced. Can't. I own the firm. The community's good demands removing trash. Jack fisted. Bastard. Threats? Jailbait. Trap sprung. Victor wrecked financially, facade intact. Unless. New voice. Sheriff Luke Harlan entered. Rain slicked, with loggers' parents of pupils. Private. Small towns make him public. Logger Sam Riley advanced. Heard tales. Langston funds vanishing from worker ledgers. Victor paled. Lies. Harlan flashed a book. Mrs. Harper flagged it bookkeeping whiz. Pieces fit. Emily spotted Skimsteiny alone, huge together. Stealing from loggers for bad bets. Victor unmasked, snarling. Interfering witch. Jack lunged. Sam punched first. Crack echoed. For my kids' fund. Harlan sighed. Arrested for theft, fraud. Quiet descended. Emily in Jack's arms, trembling, eased. Over. Scary part now good. Spring bloomed in Silver Creek like renewal. Emily watched from their cabin porch as Jack tended the garden they'd sown. 8 months wed, her heart still leaped at his grin. Simple vows under an open sky. A town witnessing mended lives. No gown, no bells, just truth. Victor rotted in the state pen, ambition's dust. Firm reformed, funds restored. Emily's hand on her belly knew life stirring. She'd tell Jack tonight in bed, head on his chest, his scarred hands tender. Thinking loud, Jack said, dirt streaked approaching. Good or wild? Both. He held her, love aching. Love you, Emily Thornton. Even wild, especially. They watched sunset, Guild Hills. Behind, home of shared choices, books, bed of equal fire and softness. Ahead, seasons weathered together, love forged in choice over ease. The West had forged them, bearing souls to raw truth. They were flawed folks, finding flawless bond in flawed times. And that, Emily mused in his embrace, was perfection. What did you think of Emily and Jack's journey? Drop a comment below sharing your take. Did Victor deserve his downfall? Or was he just a product of the times? Whose side are you on in the scandals and why? Let's debate it out.